Technology has taken the automotive industry by storm and is all about the advancements in performance logistics. With the rise of electronic vehicles and automated cars, the engine's capacity and constant power supply are the most sought for development. Have you recently come across the roar of Toyota's breakthrough of solid-state batteries? If you aren't aware, the mere news has stirred the entire automotive domain and several critics like Sandy Munro to dish out their views. Welcome back to another mind-stirring video from eMotion on the recent developments of Toyota's solid-state batteries and their demand in the automobile industry. Stay tuned till the end to catch Sandy Munro's exclusive views on the topic. Solid-state batteries have always been the greatest fascination for physicists and electricians, and while it was a promising theory on paper, it didn't seem possible practically. It was late 2011 when Bolloré introduced its small-scale batteries to the commercial world after an extensive period of study and experiments since the early 20th century. In the simplest words, a solid-state battery has the same components as a regular lithium-ion battery: the cathode, anode, and electrolyte. But the electrolyte filled in these batteries are solid substances in contrast to the regular fluid polymer gels. Similar to the current batteries, they also pass the charged particles through the electrolyte while charging and discharging. In a conventional view, the electrons flow from the cathode to the anode on discharging, hence conducting the electricity. The solid electrolyte has more energy density and increased electron flow than the liquid pool, which instantly multiplies the performance and capacity. According to the research and prototype testing, the solid-state batteries provide nearly 8-fold energy levels and enhanced characteristics while being the same size as lithium-ion batteries. Certainly, the automobile industry, looking for a potent alternative for their e-vehicles, is undoubtedly engaged in a cutthroat competition to develop solid-state batteries. Why is the automobile industry excited about them? Though the figures on paper seem impressive, converting them to reality is quite challenging. One of the world's most advanced automobile companies, Toyota, has been researching them since 2012, and this has finally taken the shape of a reliable breakthrough. Why do you think the vehicles will benefit from these new batteries? The e-vehicles are futuristic cars and will entirely depend on power supplied through batteries. As the speed and range are constantly being increased to boost vehicle performance, the battery's capacity has to simultaneously multiply. In this regard, solid-state batteries are the best to meet the emerging demands, as they're compact, have accident-proof designs, and are packed with immense power. While charging, oxidation occurs quickly due to the densely packed molecules, reducing the time consumed to charge the entire battery. With this extra space, the batteries themselves can be made huge to extend the capacity. Scientifically, the heat generated inside is around 75% less than the lithium-ion batteries, which improves their life cycle, demanding very little maintenance and repair. Compared to the high ionic conductivity of the liquid electrolytes, this all-solid-state conduction has more electronic conductivity, reducing the draining rate, which in turn provides a longer battery life. Liquid electrolytes can't be improved with the addition of battery enhancers, as they risk inflammation due to volatile lithium solvent. If we talk of the feasibility, both of them work in a broad range of temperature from 0 degrees Celsius to the maximum of 150. However, the quick heating property of the lithium-ion batteries is a huge drawback, which soon results in a hot engine or a drained battery. On the other hand, solid-state batteries are yet to be developed for cold temperatures. Concluding the list with the latest studies, the solid-state properties are notably easier to recycle and convert without any major e-waste. Concerned about the environmental impact and carbon footprint, the future world is now dependent on this hopeful invention to be developed on a large scale. Why is there a delay? In a broad view, consumption of less space, quick charging, more capacity, and fewer protection requirements are the stark features attracting automobile companies to rush to develop solid-state batteries. Though the features and procedures seem easy, the primary stage of electrolyte production is the most challenging one. A chemically inert, stable, and brittle-free solid mass is quite difficult to be produced for the engine batteries. The electrolytes are still made from lithium-based salts, and the electrodes also remain similar to the carbon and lithium electrodes as in the lithium-ion batteries. Being completely solid and tightly packed, the interactive surfaces numerically increase, constantly developing resistance and dendrite formation. If it can be reduced with the change of the elements, the suitable ones are still undiscovered to maintain the same theoretical efficiency. Cell stacking technology also came forth to alleviate the issue by reducing the entire stress on a singular cell by distributing it among the multipolar battery. Yet, these experiments aren't practically easy to develop, which eventually ends up in a humongous cost of production. Back in 2012, the cost of a single battery prototype was nearly $100,000, and amazingly, a single e-car would need more than 100 of them. Now, you can start counting the bills if you dream of getting such a lavish and advanced e-car for yourself. Then what about the claims of the modern Toyota breakthrough? Have they finally succeeded after this decade-long hard work? Let's now fish out the facts of what the Japanese automobile big head has really come up with. Toyota's progress in the new tech. The future strongly aims to replace fuel-driven cars with the most anticipated e-cars. A number of automobile heads worldwide are constantly engaged in the necktie competition to bring out the most feasible model. Certainly, if batteries are going to be a mandatory component in every vehicle, the obvious hunt would be its development. Japan's Toyota has by far targeted the realistic problems solid-state batteries have faced till now. They claim to have developed a possible prototype that can effectively work in the existing conditions. Their modern batteries assure an unimaginable range of 700 kilometers in a single charge, where many current developing e-cars are still wandering about the 500-kilometer range. It takes no more than 10 minutes to charge the battery fully, and the spellbound capacity easily overcomes the hurdle of repeated charging throughout the day. Since early 2020, Toyota and Panasonic have started a partnership, Prime Planet Energy and Solutions Inc., which now claims to manufacture commercially usable solid-state batteries latest by 2025. Toyota's Mobility Communication Department has stated that their prototype was a successful road performance. In the latter part of 2020, they finally achieved an authorized license for conducting validation tests. This race doesn't end with Toyota's progressive gains, as many other industries are also stepping forth to match the competition. The Japanese government has come forward to invest around $19.2 billion to support decarbonization technology, which plays a significant part in solid-state battery development. By 2008, Nissan Motors also aims to develop its non-simulation vehicle, which is going to be powered by its own solid-state battery. Stepping out of Japan's boundaries, several Western companies are also quite ahead in the race. Volkswagen has reportedly joined hands with the Canadian battery developer QuantumScape in December 2020. Ford and BMW are depending on the Colorado-based solid-state cell developers, whereas Mercedes is in ties with Canada's Hydro-Quebec. Not limited to the automobile industry, Samsung has also made a prominent mark in the charts as they are generating reusable solid-state batteries for devices and appliances. Nevertheless, according to the news, Toyota seems to be running ahead as they have announced a promising reveal by the end of 2021 where their first solid-state battery-driven car would independently run on the streets. What does Sandy Munro have to say? The famous automotive engineer and owner of Munro & Associates Consultancy, Sandy Munro, is a well-known scholar of cars and batteries. Apparently, he studied the claims and surely analyzed the possible results, finally failing to comply with the Toyota manufacturers. Till now, the batteries have surpassed the laboratory conditions but have never been in the drastic natural climate. Counting on the challenging drawbacks of the batteries and the expense of manufacturing them, he considers a safe period of 5 to 10 years before they can leap to reality. Do you agree with Munro's views? Or are you among the enthusiasts to see these latest cars soon on the roads? Comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe to keep track of the events without a miss. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.